Welcome down to Lower Method Field as we have a great matchup between NC State and UNC's club lacrosse teams. I am Sam Harding, joined by Jaden Rubenstein. I was close. We did this all day, and I knew I was going to mess it up. But we've got a great matchup. We've got bleachers are full. We've got dogs out in the crowd getting ready for the Puppy Bowl a little early, and we have two teams that starting off the season here, Jaden, and what are you expecting out of both teams? What are you seeing just in warm-ups alone?
Based on warm-ups, I think it's going to be a pretty good rivalry game between these two teams. For NC State, looking at the captain Lily Spence to really just get the team going. If she's getting her assists in, she's giving the ball to her players, then I think we'll see some scoring from NC State. What do
Absolutely.
you see from Chapel Hill?
Chapel Hill, I think they'll go as their goalie number 97, Emily Ives goes. N- Normally, if you win if you don't let the other team score. And
Right.
obviously, in women's lacrosse, it's a little bit more high scoring. They'll be going quicker to the net, more penalties, but to stop State from getting those 8 meter shots and just being one on one with Ives, that's what UNC needs to do, especially stopping Spence and making sure that they bring her down. As we get the UNC starts chanting, UNC seems to have a very tight knit group. Lots of chemistry between the team as just messing around, having a good time before this game.
I agree. I think they're a really vocal team, so we might see that on the field as well. Talking to each other, being able to make some good passes, get it to the goal.
Absolutely, communication is key in lacrosse, especially coming from your goalie to let you know who's hot, who's like where's the slide coming from, who's got help defense, and just where the ball is, because goalie is able to see it all. You're like a quarterback on that field, and you've got to help out your defense to the best of your ability. And that communication could be key as we get another huddle from UNC showing off their team camaraderie. UNC is not shy to break it down and cheer for each other, that's for sure. And we had a little battle earlier between the two teams as the wind is going to whip through. So if you hear a little bit of air brushing around, that's why. It is very windy. We'll try to do our best to get the wind not to mess with our mics, but we had both teams as we set for the draw here between UNC. Looks like 21 for NC State is taking the draw against 34 for UNC. 34, that is Ruth Ann Winston as UNC gets the possession.
They're taking it downfield. Let's see how our defenders can get the ball away from them.
Ball's down low right in front as the ball goes wide of Snyder. Ball's up with UNC, number 25. Down now behind the goal as they're moving around. That is a good pick there by
Number 21
Argabright.
is laying on the defense against UNC.
Back cut. Snyder looked like she was fixing her helmet there in goal for NC State. Almost didn't see it. Tried to split the defenders with a spin though and just dropped it out the back. It was number 2, Megan Kane for NC State. State really just trying to stop holes as they figure out who's got who on defense.
Seems like UNC is trying to slow it down a little bit, get their bearings before they go for the goal again.
Absolutely, as you get a cut, and we're going to have an infraction on NC State, and we're going to have an 8-meter set up here. And you hear UNC from the sidelines just cheering on their team.
Yeah, NC State stayed pretty silent so far, and
there's a
UNC with the goal.
Goal for UNC coming off. That's number 9, it looks like, for UNC, Morgan Baver. And as they walk it up for another draw, Snyder didn't really have a chance there. As Baver really made sure to get it in there. As she gets her stick checked after every goal. They will get their sticks checked to make sure that they're still legal. We saw that earlier as they're lining up and they're just doing stick checks with the entire team. And UNC's team did something that I'd never seen before. Every time they'd come through, they'd start chanting for the next player to celebrate that their stick was clear and there's legal to play.
It just really shows the support that they have for each other and how excited they are to be out here on the field.
Absolutely, and it would have been a very awkward situation if one of the sticks did not pass as they were chanting. As Arbright gets the ball for NC State, and we're gonna have an infraction against UNC as Arbright in 4 defenders. Someone's open. Is number 19 for NC State, Marcy Waters. As the ball is
As
up,
NC State marches it down the field.
absolutely good transition offense from NC State. Better transition defense from UNC to be able to smack that ball down. As the ball is on the ground here, rolls past the restraining line, tries to rake it to herself. Ball's up, Vance still on the ground. The ground ball battle will be big for this game today.
And UNC wins it.
Good outlet pass, number 13 there for UNC. Cam Edison. Edison puts a little stutter step, tries to find the cutter in the middle, does. Great pass by Edison.
Again to number 9, Morgan Baver.
Finds Baver again right in front, and that is just great transition offense from UNC there.
Another stick check for Baver. Hope she passes this again.
Baver seems like she's going to be hanging out down there a lot. But that was great, just from the restraining line down by the UNC goal. Great ground ball to a pass to Edison. Edison put a little stutter step on, putting the defenders on watch, making the defenders come to her, found the open cutter, and Baver was able to bury it in the back of the net. We have another draw. It looks like Arbite still for NC State. It's number 34 for UNC, Ruth Ann Winston. And UNC wins it. You have a streaker. I think they look for Baver again. Snyder clamps it down in front of the goal. Pass to Arbite. Ball's moved up. Good transition offense from NC State as the ball hits the carpet again. Dump inside. Just slapped down by UNC, trying to pick it up now. Yellow ball, a little tough to see in this bright sun. There's no clouds around to help us out.
It is a good day for weather for lacrosse.
It is a great day for lacrosse.
A little bit of wind, not too much. Help them with passing the ball to each other.
Absolutely. As NC State gets their first offensive possession, they're just slowing it down, bringing it around. Megan Kane with it, passes it.
They're getting some good passes in.
Absolutely, just trying to get settled, get that UNC defense moving a little bit. And now here we go, NC State going into their set. Ball's on the ground. That was Spence that couldn't come up with it. And UNC into a double team. And it's going to go State way, it looks like. That was good defense by NC State to force the turnover on their own end and get it back on offense, because they didn't really do much with their possession besides just do a little warm-up passing there.
They are trying to get their possession time up with these passes, though. It's good to keep it on UNC's goal instead of by ours.
Absolutely, down to 0-2 in favor of UNC. Good body check there to try to box out, and it's going to go UNC's way as the wind kicks up a little bit. It's number 37, Claire Doré with it. Baver had it, thought about it. Good offense by UNC. Lefty shot by Doré. Snyder didn't know where it went, had her own teammate push her in the shoulder to show her where it went. And it's going to go in favor of NC State with Snyder in the cage. Looking for an outlet pass. Just a little high on her target. It looked like a little miscommunication between two UNC players. They ran into each other there. And ball behind at X. Being moved around, looking for someone. Cutter in the middle for UNC. Ball on the ground. UNC is really doing a good job of getting cutters and finding the open man right in front of the goal.
They also continue to keep their control of the ball even whenever it hits the ground. They're fast to get to it, and that really shows with all the goals that they've been scoring.
Absolutely, that was a great drive there by, I want to say that was number 21 for UNC, with the drive from the side, goalie's right side. That was Ashlyn Ray with it. Ray just came from the goalie's right, got in close, made sure to stay out of the crease, and just put it in right over the shoulder, making it 3-0 for the Tar Heels here. And if you're NC State, what are you trying to do to get back into this here, Jaden?
Right now, I think they need to pick up with their possession time. They haven't really been spending much time away from their own goal, and I think that puts a lot on our own goalie to be trying to stay up against the powerful UNC offense.
Absolutely. This draw is crucial, and
I think winning draws could really help NC State as UNC takes it downfield again.
Absolutely. It really helps if they're able to get a draw, stop the bleeding. But UNC is great trail check there by NC State, but I think that was Kane on the trek there. But NC State, they look a little confused on defense as one scoots back in under Snyder, as we have Baver already
again
with a hat trick, drops her stick, doesn't want to talk to the official as much this time. She's already been there twice already. But as we said, the draw is crucial in trying to get NC State to slow this UNC offense down, especially on transitions. It seems where UNC is putting a hurt on NC State.
All right, so we've got 2 substitutions on UNC's team.
It looks like Baver is out. We have Bellamy Tyson and Hannah Towie, in for UNC. As we have another draw, I believe it's Olivia Bettis for UNC, as we have over the head by Caitlin Casey on NC State. And here we go with the speed of UNC, bringing it down and just burying
no
it in the back of the net.
defender in front of them.
NC State's transition defense is looking a little worse for wear right now, as UNC puts up 5 already with 7 minutes left. As sticks being checked. I couldn't see the number on the goal scorer for UNC.
We'll see as she runs by.
And it looks like she'll be taking the draw for UNC as well. So it may have been Bettis. And we'll see. It
looks like number 32.
Number 32, Olivia Bettis with a goal. Olivia gets ready for the draw again. Low stance. Very athletic there. Looks like she's about to do a shot, do a squat, as Molly Campbell unsuccessfully tries to best Bettis there, but is able to get the ball on a great defensive effort, pushing her to the sideline. Way to get out of
This is looking better for NC State.
Absolutely, but this UNC Ride is doing a great job of just slowing them down, making sure that they don't get a transition offense. They have to play 7-on-7 against UNC here. No easy cuts to the goal.
No upper hand.
Good shot there. Is a low little, call that a worm burner, because she shot it so low and hard that it just stayed on and it burned off all the worms that are in the way. It's a little nice little shot that went a little wide as NC State's trying to push it down the goal. Goalie's out of the goal. Tried to like hockey it in there. Went a little wide. Goalie's out of the cage.
Completely out of the goal.
Ives is hustling back into cage now. And scooped up by Marcy Waters. And it's just going to be settled in by NC State.
All right, here they go again, trying to slow things down, be able to get their formations together before they attack the goal again.
And you see NC State's doing a good job of playing by the restraining line, switching who they needed at that time. We had Molly Campbell, who has the ball now. She was back behind the restraining line, and her and another player switched. That's more of the defender. Campbell trying to get something. This is some really good defense by UNC to keep her out. And great save there by Ives. Ives tries to rein it in. And Ives is out the back. Ives looks like she's a little bit more comfortable in the clearing game than Snyder is. She's really trying to make her presence known, just running out instantly.
It just shows that UNC has that stronger chemistry between each other, because they know the next move that their players are going to make.
Absolutely. And number 3, really tall, and we got a save by Snyder. She's definitely the tallest player on the field right now. That is May Yarborough.
Yeah, she tried to go over the head of Snyder. She was able to
And
grab that.
Snyder's still hanging in the cage. It's, it seems she's still in the crease, or might have been out of it a little bit, but you see the differences in play from Snyder and Ives. Ives is quick to come out the back and make herself really a presence, while Snyder wanted to sit back and more quarterback. And we're going to have just a little quick whistle. Good trail check by UNC there. Ball's on the ground. And UNC is really aggressive on getting these ground balls, which is giving them opportunities like we have here with Yarborough.
I think with the high speed that they're running at, it helps them pick the ball up better than NC State can, because we just seem to be standing there.
State does seem to just be watching the ball as it gets picked up. As we got to cut now, and UNC is looking to play two-man behind the cage. Brings it up now. Moving around, trying to settle it in.
This is something we haven't really seen from UNC, slowing down the play instead of attacking the goal right away.
Absolutely, they're really just possessing here, trying to get something going. 20 minutes left to play in the half. NC State bumping around here as UNC is just doing a good job of possessing. They haven't really set up a play or anything yet. They're just still in their set. Now it looks like they're setting cutters. They're doing a nice little job. Once they pass, make sure to move. We got a nice little double by NC State, but spins off and puts one in the back for UNC. That's a beautiful little spin move. Saw the pressure coming from her left, spun right, and was able to bury it in the back of the net there.
I think that was Bettis that got the goal.
Bettis with her second on the day. And we're going to have a timeout by NC State as it is 6-0, 19:48 to play, and UNC is just heading back. Spirits are really high right now for this UNC ball.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a discrepancy between how these timeouts look for the two teams. UNC seems to still be celebrating as they should with a 6-0 lead. NC State looks a little more determined to kind of turn around the game.
Absolutely, and I think something that would I think a focal point of what they're talking about now is getting the ground balls, because the ground ball battle is being won by UNC. The ground ball battle is one of the most important aspects in all of lacrosse, because if you win the ground ball battle, 90% of the time you win the game. If you look in the stat sheet, that's where it's won, because that'll give you extra possessions. That'll just make it so you don't have to have Snyder in a bad position, and UNC is doing a great job not putting Ives in a bad position by getting those extra possessions and putting it in the back of the net.
And also coming up to the next draw that's going to happen after this timeout ends, I think NC State needs to really look to win it, be able to bring the ball down to the goal, and try to get their possession time up too.
Absolutely, make sure to move it around and try to get easy cutters in front, but this UNC team is doing a great job of making sure that if there's an NC State cutter, there's usually two UNC players to deter a pass, really making them challenge Ives from outside of that 8 meters rather than right on the doorstep. Showing a lot of confidence in their goalie that they know she can stop it if they make them shoot it from a farther distance. And we'll be playing 2 halves. It'll be 30 minutes running clock, except for the last 2 minutes, the 10-minute halftime, as UNC starts to look to break the huddle as NC State's taking the field again. And for the draw, it looks like number 11 for NC State, that'll be Casey, as we have UNC walking out now. It looks like Winston will take the draw for UNC against Casey. Oh, they just made a little transition there. It'll be Ray that wants to take it against Casey. Looks like they had a little discussion right as they passed.
Ray's taking a deeper stance again, trying to get below.
Popped it up to our side. Ball's on the ground, picked up by Winston. And Winston's looking to bring it down quick. Long pass over, skip pass to Ray. Ball's now down low with Bettis.
They've got a
back.
lot of movement going on, trying to get something going.
Absolutely. This is just tough for you for NC State coming out of their timeout without possession here as UNC looks like they're coming out hot, looking to add to their lead. Make it 7-0 here as just a blow by there, and it's going to be waved off, and we're going to have an 8-meter for UNC coming from goalie's left. And this is a big spot here for Snyder. Needs to come up with a save on this attempt. And here she goes. Let's low, just a little wide as UNC fell down on the chase there.
NC State caught a break on that one.
Absolutely. Home turf advantage here. And trying to get it out here. Crucial moment for the Pack. Good cutter, great pass to Campbell. Campbell did a great job of making sure to come back. Good cradle into a double team. And just an errant pass to the middle. Looked like a good, just another great ride by this UNC team as it's number 2, Towie with it. That was just a great transition defense by UNC, pushing the double teams and making the errant pass.
Yeah, looking at their passing game specifically, you can see right now that UNC is very specific with each of their passes. They go right to their target, and it doesn't go anywhere else. As we just saw with NC State, they lost their possession because the pass just wasn't to anyone.
Absolutely. You hear doubles, especially back inside the restraining line on NC State's defensive side. They're gonna really force the doubles. You're hearing everyone shout goalies. They want someone to go, but they've already got them marked down. Snyder's not really making doesn't really want to. Snyder's just gonna take her time with it here. She's got a cutter, doesn't see anything that she likes. This is some really good defense by UNC, but NC State's nothing's happening. We're at a stalemate. It's like a game of chess right now.
She is stepping out of the goal a little bit more, which is good. Maybe she got her confidence up.
Every second, we're just moving up just a little bit.
Just trying to gain field advantage at this point. Able to pass it and run it down.
It feels like she's had it for about a minute now. And it doesn't seem like there is a failure to advance like there is in men's lacrosse to get a touch inside. And now we see going to double the goal, or going to play defense on the goalie, errant pass, but scooped up by State. Now I really hope they send it back to Snyder and we just have that all again for a minute. Ball's down. We're going to have, just playing too close, too much contact. And we're going to go again. And
you can see again that NC State is just not pumping the gas right now.
No,
they're not really trying to get down the field. They're just trying to focus on not having a ground ball.
Absolutely, UNC is really putting the foot on the gas here, and it looks like we're gonna have possibly another 8-meter. Or we'll have a 2-minute penalty, so NC State will be playing down. So instead of the normal 12 with the goalie in, they'll have 11. So they're one player down right now.
This surely is not changing anything for NC State. Now they're just going to play more nervous around the goal.
Wide shot on that, and that's going to go NC State. And this allows UNC now to mark the goalie now on their rides. So for UNC, when they've got that extra man, they'll be able to really pressure Snyder on these clears, speed up the process now as we got another 8-meter with Bettis. Bettis looking to join the hat trick club with Baver. Got the refs still signaling to get farther away. Bettis didn't waste any time. Excuse me, going top right there. Normally you see him just run it in. Bettis didn't want to waste her steps there. Beautiful
Bettis
shot.
wanted that hat trick.
Absolutely, that was a beautiful shot. Top right, hit the post. That was absolutely gorgeous for the 7th goal. And it's 3 for Bettis, 3 for Baver, and 1 for Ray. I think Ray's going to try her best now to join the hat trick club as well, as UNC is really just honing in on Snyder. And the penalty has released now, so we're at 12 players for each team.
Here we go with another draw. NC State looking to hopefully win this, be able to bring it down the field.
Ray in a very powerful stance again.
It's up in the air, and NC State gets this one.
Good win for NC State. Is Krashik with it. Finds the cutter. That was a beautiful try there. Knowing that she wasn't going to have time to really catch it, she basically batted at it, took a well-timed swing, and almost got it in as NC State brings it back. NC State's really hesitating to make those quick passes. It looks like they're trying to go more one-on-one. This UNC defense is...
They're not budging
They
at
are
all.
not.
It seems to be there's 2 players for every 1 NC State player.
Absolutely, they're everywhere. Tries to find a cutter in low, didn't have it. This UNC defense is playing extremely tough, really using their hands as much as the referees will let them.
Ball on the ground, and NC State's able to recover that one.
That's big. Make sure they don't lose their possession. They've only got 1 shot off on this possession. UNC has more goals than NC State has shots right now.
Yeah, I think they need to focus on a more offensive game right now. Lately, we've been seeing more defense from NC State because the ball has been by their goal most of the time.
And I think we're going to have an illegal screen. That's not a good break for NC State there. Just another unforced turnover coming and setting in an illegal screen as play is going, and just wide open player for UNC picks it up and she's bringing it down now.
Even with the dropped ball, UNC was able to recover that, which shows that NC State just needs to play more one-on-one defense against this team. Able to get the ball away from them.
Ball's being brought around now. On the ground. Seems like if that was on the UNC side, that would have been picked up a lot quicker and going the other way, but NC State's playing back. They're playing a little bit more of a relaxed defense. It looks like they're in a zone rather than a man. Or one of those hybrid zones. They're really spaced out. If you look at the difference when we get over to NC State, they're really giving up a lot of space in that middle, allowing for those cutters on UNC.
And the UNC players are easily running through every player. There's no really double teams on any of the players.
Absolutely. There's a little one, but NC State is playing a zone. As we have a great goal there, cutter, stick is dropped. Can't see the number, but that was very well done. I believe that is Rye. Rye with her second. She came through on the back cut as NC State. They are playing a zone. They didn't know who was going to pick her up, and no one did. It looked like the pass came in very fast as Rye seemed to get out of position, but she was able to just slap it in at the last moment, putting in her second of the day.
It looks like early on in this game we could have 3 different hat tricks from the UNC team, while NC State still has a score of 0.
Absolutely. NC State is down 0 to 8 right now as the score breakdown is Baver with 3 early ones. Haven't really seen much from her again. I think she's still getting her rest in. Bettis put 3 up, and Rye has 2. All in the first half with 12 minutes left to play. Player down for UNC, but watch that trail check. Beautiful, kept it clean, and it's going to go UNC's way.
Looks like NC State's really just looking for a momentum swing right now, and that's not happening as they continue to stay on our goalie, Snyder.
And we've got a yellow on Lily Spence, and
this is not what NC State wants to see as their captain is sidelined for now.
about, I believe, 2 minutes. That's a ball down. And again, if NC State gets a stop here, they'll be able to pressure on their rides. They've already been doing a stellar job as they got a cutter, put in the back of the net. That's a new goal scorer for UNC. I believe that is 18. Grace Cron with the goal. Beautiful cut. UNC put up a facade of slowing it down, lulled the NC State defense into a sense of protection, thinking that we'll be able to get set. But Cron just bolted for the goal. They found the cutter, and she was able to put it in the back of the net.
Looks like right now NC State's talking about their defensive strategy because things really just aren't working out so far with 9 goals already scored. Here we go with another draw.
And we're back at full strength now, 12 on 12. Ball is up.
And NC State wins that one.
It's a big win for NC State. The pressure's coming.
This could be the swing they've been looking for. They're moving really fast towards the goal.
But a great defensive check by UNC there, bringing the ball down as Lily Spence comes up with it. And it's going to stay with NC State as no one picks up Spence off that. Spence moves around, lefty pass right to the defender there. But Spence is trying to do her darndest to get it back.
Spence is really trying to play as physical as she can, trying to get that ball away from the UNC defenders.
UNC is really seeing what they're able to get away with and just pressuring this NC State offense into committing turnovers, especially in front of the goal, while UNC is just running through a soft zone of NC State, not really trying their hands. And we're gonna have an illegal procedure on State.
It really just looks like these two teams are playing different games right now, as UNC is running fast, trying to get to the goal as quick as they can and making passes between players. And NC State's just really playing a more relaxed game right now, as we have another goal scored by UNC.
And that is Yarborough to knot it up to 10 double digits for the Tar Heels here, as Yarborough joins the scoring ranks off that 8-meter, buries it in the back left of the cage, goalie's right, as NC State and UNC are sending in some subs as the clock reads 9:30 on it. NC State's having conversations up at the draw line. Who's going to take it? It's going to be Marcelino for NC State, and it looks like for the Tar Heels, it will be Bettis with 32. Bettis with a very low stance this time, and it looks like Marcelino's trying to match her a little bit. That is a very aggressive squat from Bettis, as it pays
Seems
off.
to have paid off, yeah.
Aggressive defense there by State, couldn't get away with it.
I think it's not really being physical that they need to look for, but just being able to run up to the girl and try to get control of the ball from her.
Ball down. UNC is really spreading out this NC State defense. As NC State, looks like they might have switched to a man.
There definitely seems to be a lot more movement from the NC State defense right now, which I think could be paying off.
That, I think, is a smart shift if they did end up going into a man-on-man, man-to-man defense. Seeing that cutter, she wasn't passed off to anyone. The defender stuck with her the entire way. Looks like this might be a good change for this NC State defense.
We're seeing a lot more dropped balls by UNC, which could be from this change of a man-to-man defense.
I think we're going to get a slash on State, which is tough, as they weren't able to stay in front of the defender. Tried to get a little poke check, but got the body, as Bettis looks to go for 4 here. Got the 8-meter one-on-one basically with with Snyder, and last time Bettis didn't waste any time. She just shot it. We'll see if she's gonna run up or not, knowing Snyder knowing that Bettis will pull it if she has to. Bettis giving Snyder something to think about as we wait for the whistle, and Bettis is gonna try to take it in, and just looks like a little jump shot burying it in right over as we get goal 11. Goal
She
4
easily
for
gets
Bettis.
her 4th goal for this game already. Still 7 minutes left in this half.
We got some more, looks like a wholesale change for UNC, getting more players in, but there's a good shot by Bettis, just going over Snyder there, and
I think, though, it didn't really pay off for NC State so far. That defensive change really just changed the mood a little bit by their goal. UNC had to work a little bit more for the goal that time instead of just marching it down the field and putting it in.
I completely agree. I think the shift to the man-to-man, if that seems to be the case, will pay off in a little bit, but just making sure to limit the amount of times that UNC gets the 8 meters. That's really where they're putting a hurt on NC State, as pass just is not caught by Marcelino, but looks like NC State will have an 8 meter, something we haven't really said much. Oh, and doesn't really seem like it. Not as clear as it was. This is a farther back one. It wasn't a true 8 meter.
They still get to retain control of the ball.
Absolutely,
possession.
Marcelino, good snag, and that's a goal for NC State. And that's Argabright with it, and that I thought the ball got through on that pass. It was a low pass. Argabright was able just to throw the stick at it, caught it, and threw it in. No one on the NC State's bench, on the fans, didn't really think.
No one really knew.
No one knew. It was tough to see, but it was able to go in. Cuts the lead to 10 now, 1-11, and that's what you want, especially if this defense starts to pan out in the man-to-man. NC State can slowly get back into it, and you see that you're not really truly out of it in lacrosse. 10 goals is easily attainable.
Yeah, it can happen in the matter of a half, as we've seen.
Absolutely. You just need to start getting hot, but you have to stay on it the entire time as NC State picks up the ground ball. That's Frice with it.
Scoring that 1 goal was really just the big thing that NC State had to focus on, because being able to break that 0 is really big to change everything.
Once you see that first goal go in, it's a lot easier, as it looks like NC State's playing a little bit more aggressive. Spence came in a little lackadaisical to try to bring that up. Had a triple team, gets out of it.
Seeing the first goal almost makes the players think that scoring goals can be a thing that's happening right now.
So it looks like a little confusion by NC State on who's getting back. They're trying to figure out who's got who. Ball's now over on the right side of the goalie. Top right to the goalie now as the ball's being moved around with Rye with it. Excuse me, Ray just surveilling the area. As we've got NC State lined up. Ball looked like it came in a little hot there. It's a fast pass, pretty close. Trail check. NC State, UNC is doing a great job on getting these trail checks on NC State, where it seems like they've been beaten. They're able to just put it right on the stick and stay away from causing contact and getting slashed. They've been spot on with these. As have a player down for NC State.
Yeah, NC State can't really seem to run down the field much without having a trail check and losing the ball. And as we've seen with trying to get the ground balls, it's just not working out for NC State so far.
And Snyder with it. We'll see how the clear goes for NC State.
A lot faster than we saw before.
Absolutely, that's Hardball with it. Brings it up. It's number 27 for NC State. Splits it, almost lost her balance, stays up. It's Woods with it.
She's quickly running down the field.
Woods tries to put on a little move, is going to try to move it out to Spence. Spence is able to see it in.
Spence is ready to set up a scoring formation right now.
As NC State looking for a cutter. Pass to Woods. Not caught cleanly, but still with Woods. Woods doing her best. Spence, that was a great job by the UNC defender to make sure that she pushed Spence out away from the goal rather than letting her come in and
Spence
get
almost
closer.
tried to drop a dime right in front of the goal, but Ives was able to easily pick that off.
Beautiful pass right in front of us there on a rope to her target. That's number 13, Edison, with it. That was a beautiful pass, getting the ball now on their offensive side with a minute 30 left. UNC is going to want to up their lead here going into the half.
If you're UNC right now, would you want to go right for the goal or just try to keep possession the rest of the half?
I'd say you go right for the goal like what Ray is doing, because you've seen that you've been winning most of the draws. You've been able to get the ground balls. If you score quick enough, you could have a two for one situation coming up as we're under a minute now to play. Beautiful move by Edison. And there's a whistle blown. The clock needs to be stopped here. I don't know why the whistle is blown. Looks like they might need to put some ticks back up there. But Edison's going to get an 8-meter. And
UNC has a chance to bring the lead back up.
Edison's going to go. Great save by Snyder. Kick save, but it bounces right out to Winston. Winston puts one in the back of the net. And now you'll have your chance, but the clock is going to keep running, so I don't know if we'll get another draw before you hear the siren go. And it's 1-12 in favor of the Tar Heels. And that was a great save by Snyder. Bad bounce out. She didn't save it with her stick. It was more of a kick save, causing that rebound. Winston was able to just scoop it up and put it in as we get set for the draw here.
With 8 seconds on the clock.
We'll just hear the whistle and then the siren basically right after. We're going to see the ball go up. And here it goes as the siren goes. First half is over for both teams as they go celebrate Ives. Ives might have her day come to a short stint as they might put in the backup, let her get some reps. It is 1-12 right now, and we'll take a break and we'll be right back in a few. For the report at the half, it is 1-12 in favor of the Tar Heels over the Wolfpack in this rivalry matchup. As the fans are still here, the wind's blowing. And Jaden, what did you see from this UNC team?
I think UNC right now has really just been playing a great offensive game. We've had 2 hat tricks already in one half, 12 goals. And the defense has really just been strong as well against NC State. Our defensive players for UNC, they've been playing a more man-on-man defense as opposed to NC State playing more zone, which hasn't really been panning out as we've seen 12 goals.
Absolutely. The UNC defense has been a lot more aggressive than NC State, really getting the most out of what the refs are letting them have, being able to cause turnovers in their own end. And on the other side of the coin, you talked about it, the NC State defense has been playing more of a zone. They switched at the half, and they haven't really been able to get anything going on offense.
Yeah, we did see maybe one possession that UNC had by NC State's goal that was playing, NC State was playing more man-on-man defense. But I really just want to see NC State playing that a little bit more so they can try to force some turnovers against UNC.
Absolutely. And NC State has 1 goal by Ara Bright, and as you said, Bettis and Baver have hat tricks for UNC, and it's 1-12. We'll be right back. Welcome back down to Lower Method Field, and we're just going to touch more on what NC State can do to get back into this game with their defensive adjustments we saw at half. Want to see a little bit more aggressive defense, and then on the offensive side, or even on draws, what are you
want to see out of this NC State team,
I
Jaden?
think in the second half for NC State, they definitely need to focus on winning the draws. They've won maybe one of them, and we've had 13, 14 so far. And also, we saw early on in the half that getting the ground ball possession just really wasn't a strong suit for NC State. But I think if they can pick that up, then we'll have more possession from NC State. Maybe a little bit more goal scoring that'll try to help them get away from this 1-12 deficit.
Absolutely. I would love to see more aggressiveness from NC State on those ground balls. The ground ball battle is highly in favor. I believe I'd say rough approximation would be 80-20 in favor of this UNC team, and that is a big spot, especially on their own offensive end, making possessions out of nothing. That is a big adjustment. And UNC, on the other hand, they don't really have much they need to fix. They're really just spraying it at NC State. Just keep the foot on the gas for the second half, and we'll be right back for the first draw of the second half in a few minutes.
Back down to Lower Method Field as we got 20 clicks left on this clock, and it looks like Ives will stay in for UNC as she was just being warmed up again. Looks like they'll let her see a little bit more action.
She was really playing a comfortable game in the first half. Didn't have to stress too much about having the ball near her goal because all of the UNC defenders were really just staying on top of getting the ball out of the goal.
Absolutely, and now we're flipping sides. NC State will have their defense on the street side while Ives will be back to the school. Not really much of a difference. A little bit more sun in her eyes than she had in the first half, but not too much as it's still pretty high in the sky right now. But no clouds to block it as cars go around. NC State's sauntering on the field now, really looking for something to bring them back into this game.
As UNC breaks down their huddle with another loud chant of heels. We haven't really been very vocal having NC State saying anything about their team so far, but maybe that'll change in this half.
And there will be a change in goal. It will be Malapsey in for UNC. Number 1 going back to cage, getting stick taps from her teammates as we're going for a draw for.
And it looks like we're still keeping Snyder in the goal for NC State. She has the sun behind her back this time, so she might be able to see the ball a little bit better.
Snyder is backlit for this as we have very aggressive stance from Bettis.
Ball is up, and
it looks like NC State will scoop it up, but it's a matter of getting it out as we have a long pass right to who she intended. Lily Spence comes in. Spence trying to wrangle it in, moves it up to Arbright. NC State's coming out hot. A little hop step there from Arbright. That's a little wild. Kane trying to get in there, moves it at the back. Had a cutter, but great use of the stick up by the defender there. Limits the lane of the passing area.
It looks like maybe the girls were still just warming up in the first half, but right now, already off of the first draw, they look more comfortable, ready to score, as Spence puts a goal in.
Spence looked like she was going to pass, faked the pass, and just brought it down quick. Quick little action, kind of like a T-Rex there, just snapping it down, bounced up. Goalie almost had it, but it pops in up top, and that's the goal for the Wolfpack. We're making it a 10-goal lead now, 2-12. As Spence gets her stick check, saunters up. And that, as we talked about in the second half, the adjustments, being able to get that ground ball, win that draw, and bring it on their offensive side. Looks like the same crew for the draw here. Looks like we're going to go for another high pop.
Ball's up, and UNC fighting for that possession. They get the ball from the ground.
I like what I saw there from Bettis. Bettis, instead of going forward with her body, she moved it back so she'd bring the ball to her teammates. I think they had it set up where she was going to try to win it. You see that a lot in men's lacrosse where they had the face off and they tell their wingman, hey, I'm going to try to bring it right to the back, so make sure you come at this angle and you'll have it on the quick scoop. I think that's what Bettis was doing there as NC State gets possession. Just NC State settling themselves on defense as UNC's looking for a little action here. Quick cuts.
NC State not looking very aggressive right now so far. UNC is able to just go around their goal, keep passing to players, and not have any real threats of losing the possession.
Absolutely. I would like to see it as time gets closer. NC State just play a little bit more aggressive to try to force turnovers, because it doesn't matter how many you lose by, because you're going to be able to try to force turnovers at that point and put it in the back. You won't really cause them playing a tentative defense. You can lose by 2 or you can lose by 20, you still lose. So might as well just try to do your best on causing turnovers and cut into the lead that way.
UNC still just passing around, trying to get some formation started.
Really just killing time here. Looks like they're going for an ISO here with number 27. That is Corey. Ball's popped.
And it looks like an NC State player could be injured.
Looks like she might have got hit in the face with it. As players, both
She's
teams
holding
start
to
taking
her eye.
And she's gonna take a little break. And you have the cultural trainer, I believe that's number 19, Marcy Waters for NC State. Took it right to the head.
This is not what you want to see for the NC State team as they're trying to get some momentum off of the second half draw.
Absolutely. We're hoping Marcy is going to be all right. Didn't seem too bad, but we don't want to speculate anything, because NC State had it, lost it, as we're back on the field now with the whistle playing. And we're going to have another stop of action. The sun might not be bothering the goalie's eyes as much, but it's really getting in our field of vision here. It is tough without a hat out here.
Being able to see these players' numbers just doesn't work out as the sun is reflecting off of their jerseys.
The yellow ball is becoming illuminated by the sun. Great move there by NC State, but a great save by Snyder, getting it with her stick. Her defender scooped it up, put it out in front of her.
Snyder tries to quickly get rid of it, but number 3 from UNC intercepts
Yarborough with a beautiful interception. Yarborough just running around like a snake charmer right in front. Snyder didn't know what was going to happen. She pulled it out. She was really cradling it there, making sure she didn't lose control as she ran from the restraining line to the crease. Then now she's hanging out above. Good defense by NC State to take that away. That's Kane. Kane looking for somewhere to go. Moves it up. NC State with some quick, short passes. Spence with it now. NC State looks like they have the advantage. Spence stops, cuts down, being doubled. And we have a whistle. And I think Spence will get an 8-meter here. This is what you want to see if you're NC State. Really, this is where you will make up a lot of goals in your 8-meter game. They didn't have a lot in the first half, causing those, especially with Spence at the helm. And Spence, another low bounce, top right. And that's her second of the day. That is 3-12 for the Tar Heels. Wolfpack slowly cutting into this lead.
She could be the first player for NC State to get a hat trick in this game. We've already seen 2 from UNC with Bettis and Baver.
Absolutely, as Spence walks up, and both teams sending out the cavalry here. Full line exchanges, just like hockey. Everyone's running through. NC State didn't really adhere to the cone rule as much as UNC did there, But I guess when you see a whole team come on, you don't really have to do it.
Ball's up.
And ball's still
Still a
flying
fight.
around, and
NC State wins that.
popped into the stick of Casey there. Ball's on the ground. Marcelina was running after it. As she was doing it, she was able to fix her skirt halfway down the run. Probably lost a little speed there, but
All about feeling comfortable in your uniform.
absolutely. We were talking earlier, we love the contrast between the red and the blue being played here. And still gonna say with NC State, it's really easy to see who's who. The pop is just really good with this color contrast, as Campbell is forced out aggressive defense. NC State doesn't really know how to react here. They had to pull it out because UNC is really pressuring them up at that start of the circle there.
Seems that there's always a double team against the player that has the ball.
They're really helping out adjacent at forcing that turnover. Here, UNC bench yelling that you can run up and you can help out there. Pass goes a little wide, but scooped up by Ray. And Ray hits the deck and still gonna stay with UNC here. Ball's up.
NC State's trying to quickly run back to defend their goal.
And UNC's just gonna pull it out, get settled here. Under 23 to play in the second half. Ball's up.
I think this defensive formation for NC State hasn't really changed much. They're not really attacking the ball as we see with UNC.
They're just more focused on one player rather than relying on each other in a zone, as that's going to be a goal. The ball shoots out of the net. That's a goal for UNC, and I didn't see who did it. I guess we'll
see with the stick check.
Yeah, we'll see who's missing the stick, as they're all still hanging out.
Big huddle to celebrate their 13th goal.
Lucky number 13. The deficit is now 10 again, and they just hung out in the huddle the entire time for someone to get the stick back. Can't tell you who scored that one. It was a good shot right over Snyder's head. First goal of the half for UNC. It's 3-13. 21:30 left on the clock.
Still got a lot of game left for something to turn around for either one of the teams.
NC State's winning the half right now. And we have the other official doing the draw instead. We got to actually see more of the action as Ray has it. It'd be nice if NC State won the possession time this half. It's a lot easier to see on their side of the field.
Sun away from our eyes.
Yeah, doing the old-fashioned visor. Beautiful cut, and just drops the stick. That was Doré with the goal, number 37, scored, as we talked about off air earlier. There's a rule in women's lacrosse where they always do the stick checks, like you've seen 17 times so far. They have to drop the stick, but most women will just take it as a time to start to celebrate, and they'll pimp it a little bit, kind of like a bat flip. But not a lot of people will get upset about this one because you have to. So right there, Doré just dropped her stick.
Able to show a little bit of personality.
Absolutely, had a little of a power walk with it.
Say, yeah, that was my goal that I scored.
Check that stick. Teammates aren't as happy when the stick checks pass now like they were earlier, though. And it's gonna be Ray and Casey take that one. And
NC State with the ground ball possession.
Givens scoops it up, and it's going to stay with State. Givens is going to take it. I love the quick starts that they have in women's lacrosse. They really don't let you have any downtime.
Yeah, it keeps the game going. You don't really lose much momentum even when you have to stop.
Absolutely. Found the open player. Great save on the doorstep. Saw where she was going the entire time. Didn't just bring her stick with her, she brought her whole body. Made sure that ball was going to be stopped. That was a beautiful save. Long pass, tries to be scooped up. Box out by UNC is going to push NC State player out, and it's going to go Tar Heel ball.
It's good for UNC that they have two strong goalies with Ives in the first half, and we have number 1 Malapsi this half being the goalie, both able to get a lot of good saves in already, and Malapsi looks like she's just as comfortable in the goal as Ives was.
Absolutely, the sun didn't bother her at all as UNC is just running it down. There's Baver again. We haven't talked about her since she scored her third goal. Baver just ran it all the way down unguarded, basically. Ball's being moved around at the top of the key. Yeah, subs coming in on the offensive side for NC State as the ball's being moved around again in their defensive zone.
Pass behind the goal.
Baver moves it around. Cutter just wasn't able to be caught up with. That's a beautiful cut goal. I believe that is number 13. I think that was Edison with the goal. And Edison wasn't as emphasized as the last goal, but her stick passes as it's 3-15 in favor of UNC. More players coming in and off for UNC.
Another draw coming up.
Gonna be Bettis, and I can't tell who that is. 25 for NC State. That'll be Krashik. Krashik has it. A little battle with Bettis. Good box out. That's gonna go State way. Oh, it'll go to UNC, but that is a good box out by Krashik to really push Bettis out of position, even though it didn't go their way.
I think what we've seen with the draws in this half is a lot more physicality from NC State. They're more willing to get on the ground to get the ball and really try to get the possession straight from that.
Absolutely, as Bettis is going to quarterback here. And bringing it around. Ball's back with Baver. Back up. Back is seeing what she's got here. Really gonna go attack. Just a little stutter step. Ball's up with Bettis. Backus is gonna move around. Edison's got speed. She switched hands. Good little move there on the cradle. And we're gonna have interference. It looks like we'll have another 8-meter for UNC. I believe this is their first of the half.
Seems that we have been saying that word a lot with UNC, though, in the first half. They seem to be getting a lot of 8 meters, a lot of goals scored off of that.
I can't tell who the number of this is taking the 8-meter. As referees restoring order, making sure no one's too close. And here she goes. Low shot. That's number 18 with the goal there. For UNC, that was Cron, just right through the wickets of Snyder there, making it 3-16. And to have more subs coming on and off. Still a good crowd on hand watching this rivalry matchup. We've got 15 minutes. There's fans from both sides out. We have a beautiful sleeping pup behind us. As everyone's getting ready for this next draw coming up.
And with this draw, we see another fight NC
Krashik
State may come away with this.
is
And they
playing
do.
very aggressive in there. Baver came in quick there, but got too physical. Whistle's blown. High pass. I didn't see. I didn't see Woods at all. Woods came out of nowhere. Woods, good spin move, switched hands right into the
Great
stick.
save.
Didn't even have to move it. Good positioning from the keeper there. Good pressure. This is Yarborough now. Yarborough with that tall cradle. Ball's on the ground. Yarborough with it. That height advantage for Yarborough is really nice because not only is she able to cradle high, she's already above everyone else. So adding the
It
higher
lengthens
cradle.
her stick. Yeah.
Exactly. So, and it's tough to make a poke there and not cause a penalty for UNC. So Yarborough bringing it down is a very tough customer for the state defense. As the ball's being moved around, Baver looking for any opening. Yarborough cuts through. Especially on her cuts, you're able to throw it a little higher than you would anyone else.
Baver still with the ball, trying to look for any open teammate.
Waving players around, quarterbacking. Double from NC State here. As we got 13 minutes left. Good cut.
They're definitely attacking the ball a little bit more.
Gonna have the yellow handkerchief is out. We're gonna have a penalty on NC State. Looks like that was 13 for NC State. That was Freisch. And we're gonna have another 8-meter. And she just, that was 27 there for UNC.
Emily Corey with that goal.
Corey just didn't even take a step. She just put her foot forward, launched the ball right into the net, making it 3-17. 20th goal scored today. Quick math. Didn't even have to use my calculator for that one. That is an impressive stat, honestly. That I didn't have to use my calculator. We got under 12 minutes to be played here. Players running on and off.
It seemed at the beginning of this half that NC State was kind of turning things around, but right now I think UNC is picking up their momentum again, as we saw in the first half with all of their goals scored.
UNC is doing a great job of keeping their foot on the gas, but also practicing with themselves, maintaining possession, and not forcing anything, but just seeing what comes of it. Right now they're wide and they've been able to move the ball around, and they're still able to put the ball in the back of the net.
They're able to march it down the field fast, but then, as we see right now, they're slowing things down, trying to get things together before they really attack the goal.
Absolutely.
And that's just meaningful playing for their offensive players.
Especially with this season, you want to see how well you can play in different circumstances. As UNC drops it there, NC State comes up with it, but the speed of UNC is able to bring it up as the ball just sails wide of Woods there. Woods, I think may have lost it.
In the sun, she could have lost that ball. UNC passing it down the field.
Ball's right in front here. As Corey brings it up. Good pass to Yarborough. Yarborough had an open player, didn't see her. Yarborough just took it inside 4 state defenders and came out the back still with it. Errant pass is going to go state way. It's really nice when Yarborough has the ball and there's a cluster like that because you can always tell she's still got it because the stick's waving around out of the crowd like that. Pass to the middle, quick pass back to Spence.
UNC is putting a lot of pressure on NC State as State drops the ball.
Spence there was basically quadruple teamed because not only did she have the 3 UNC defenders on her, but also that line was an extra defender, steps out, gives the ball away. That was great defense on that ride by UNC. Ball's being moved around. UNC really just eating a little of that clock now. 9 minutes.
Now we see NC State having a very vocal team from the sidelines in this half, trying to tell their players what to be looking for against UNC.
NC State now with it, runs through. Yarbrough with the trail check, doesn't hit. Tough pass, that is number 5, I believe that was Malarkey.
Now Woods with the ball, trying to see who's open, trying to get something to happen.
Ball's being moved around.
Now NC State just walking behind the goal.
Ball's now at X behind the cage. Looking for something, no cutters there. That's 20, she's gonna draw a little penalty, that's Thompson. Thompson now is gonna have an 8-meter. Players get set, stay set. Make sure you see the ref over there saying raise the roof, basically. Thompson, great defense by Yarbrough, and we're gonna have a crease violation. Yarbrough did a great job on collapsing in, forcing a tough shot on that 8-meter.
And Malapsey also looms large in the goal, not really giving anyone any space to try to score a goal.
Ball's being moved up. Rocket pass to Yarbrough. Couldn't come up with it, and it looks like it's gonna go Tar Heel way. It's under 7:30 to play. 3-17 in favor of the light blue team. Long pass over. Ooh, that's a great check if we're playing a different sport. That's gonna be a penalty all day. That was a cross check. I think that also would have been illegal in men's lacrosse as well. Didn't have her hands together on the stick, which is what they say you have to do. But again, it is women's lacrosse. That amount of contact is definitely a 2-minute penalty there. As we're gonna have an 8-meter lining up. Referees getting everywhere set. Snyder one-on-one with number 16 here. 16 is just gonna pull it out. That was Reaver.
With this being the 3rd penalty for NC State, I don't think it's really helping them to only have 11 players out on the field, as we have a goal from UNC.
Yarbrough with it. That was just a great use of being in that position. I thought the team's called a timeout for a second as everyone comes on. It's just a wholesale change again. But Yarbrough had a great job of just cutting, going right to the ball on that pass. Like my high school coach used to always say, he wanted you to be Italian. Go meet the ball. And that's what Yarbrough did right there, and then buried it in behind Snyder there. As we get set.
And I think we have NC State back at full strength now with that goal scored by Yarbrough.
Under 6 now, 3-18.
Off the draw, the
flies
ball goes
back to the
very high.
line. And it's going to go NC State way.
This is exactly what NC State needs to get the possession off of a draw from UNC's goal. They need to just try to get it into UNC's territory as UNC steals the ball.
Ball's being moved around now as UNC's got it. Triple team there trying to force something. And 60 now, Reaver's gonna just pull it out.
As NC State's sideline yells, "Don't let her in." They need to try to build a strong wall against the offensive players on UNC's team, because they seem to just easily be running into the goal.
Absolutely. Ball's being moved around now. Under 5 minutes to play. 37 for UNC, just sizing up the situation. Cuts up high, good check.
NC State comes away with the ball.
That's Molly Campbell with it. Good pass. Just goes a little wider of her target. Tries to keep it in, but can't. As UNC's now going to bring it up. High pass wide open in the field. As Winston brings it up. This is Ray. Good move by Ray. Just switch it up, and Reaver just got put in the back of the net as goal number 19. That was just calculated slicing up of the ride there by UNC. Good passes. Ray with a good move, putting it in the back of the net there.
Seems like everything has just been working for UNC's offensive play. Been able to easily pass between each other, move it down the field, get it into scoring position right away.
Absolutely. This is sending in more subs. Ives is just relaxing on the sideline, having her shift of duty. Only 30 minutes today as we get set for another draw. 3 minutes to play now.
With the draw, UNC wins that.
And it's going to go UNC's way still. As NC State player goes, picks it up and rolls it at her. Winston bringing it down. Pulls it out. Ball's in front. Now it's behind the cage. Snyder made a little jab at it. It's like a lackadaisical hungry hippo there. Ball's being moved around. Top right of the keeper now. She scrapes along the cross. Moves it up. Winston looked like she might have wanted to try for a shot there.
Still running around with the ball. UNC behind the goal.
UNC is doing a great job of just setting up their offense. High pass, almost reined in. Ball's now outside the box, brought back in. Under 2 minutes to play. Ball's being moved around on the ground once again, but UNC will get it uncontested. Looks like both teams are just trying to set up and just move it around for these last 2 minutes of play. Have a cut.
Even with the deflected pass, UNC still gets that off the ground.
Ball's being moved around. Still good possession here by UNC, even though they weren't really trying to put one in the back of the net. It's just very good ball movement. Able to keep that possession with them as they're going to get an 8-meter here. This will be number 37, Doré. As everyone's getting set. Under a minute now as the clock's still ticking. And wide shot, should try to pull one. And it's going to go, I believe it's going to go to NC State. But he's making sure that they're in the right spot to start it. Got to adhere to the rules in this last minute. Ball's going to be ran up.
30 seconds left on the clock. NC State just trying to keep it away from their own goal at this point.
Yeah. UNC is still riding hard here. And it's going to stay with NC State. Under 20 ticks now as NC State really might just want to chuck it down. Just get it out of their hands.
5 seconds now.
Under 5, and UNC still riding. There's a chuck, and That's the end of the game. The sirens blare, and both teams run out to celebrate their keeper. More smiles in the light blues than there are in the red. But it was a fun game as UNC wins it 3-19, and we'll be right back for a post-game recap.
Welcome back down to Lower Method Field as the high fives have been going on. We got players chatting up, catching up with old friends as UNC wins this one 19-3 in a big rivalry win, first game of the season. And what did you see today out of both teams? Mainly, let's talk about the victors first, UNC.
UNC, as we saw with the score, they just knew how to get it to the goal, how to get it into the goal, and get those scoring to happen. With having a lot of 8 meters happening for their team, they were able to score quickly, winning all of the draws practically. They had great defense on the other end of the field, and NC State was trying to pick those things up in the second half, started scoring a little bit, but they weren't able to cut the deficit very much at all.
Absolutely. UNC had multiple hat tricks. A lot of players just doing really good. Both goalies played very well. And then NC State, in that second half, they came out hot, and then they fizzled out. UNC just really stopped them, and they were able to do what they did best and just get all the ground balls as NC State really faltered out. And I'd like to say thank you all to everyone that viewed. And for PackTV, I'm Sam Harding alongside Jaden Rubenstein. Got it this time. And thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.